What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Pretty Nikki TV. So, I just wanted to make this video because I just got out of a lecture, but I know I have to make this video because it was weighing on me so heavily. So I know this is something that God wants me to put out in the atmosphere. I'm gonna just go ahead and get straight into it. I don't have nothing really, no fancy introduction, nothing like that. What are you willing to sacrifice to follow God's will? Let me ask you that question one more time. What are you willing to sacrifice to follow God's will? The reason why I'm asking that is because when you choose God and you choose His will, there are certain things that have to be removed from you and that will get removed from you. And some of those things will be painful. It could be a high-paying job that paid you good money that you love doing. It could be your education. You probably at a college that you weren't supposed to be in the first place, but the moment you decide to follow God's will, you probably started failing sporadically, and you probably got removed from the school. Or, I don't know, a house or apartment, a relationship, a friendship. You know what I'm saying? You got to be willing to lose certain things if you are planning on fighting for the right side, if you are planning on defending your Lord and Savior. So where is this coming from? So today I woke up, I did my natural thing. I got up, I'm in school, so I attended a lecture. I'm in college. And one of my old high school classmates, now, I'm very bold about my stances, where I stand. I don't cower down for anybody. I never put somebody else's best interest in heart for what's right. And I will never shift it for what's right. Even if that means you never talk to me ever again. You know what I'm saying? So like, now me and her didn't have a deep friendship, but she was somebody that I knew. And we had English class together, junior year. And she's in college now, obviously. And what had happened was, I posted on my story that I was voting for Kamala. If you all seen the campaigns that Kamala is doing, she is falling apart literally before your eyes. She's talking repetitiously. She's not a convincing president. You know what I'm saying? So like, she's not a convincing president. So like, I'm a Trump supporter. And I don't know if people actually paid attention when Trump was in office. He was actually helping the economy. Versus when he got out of office, people wanted him out. We got another dude in office. His name was Joe Biden. The economy went into an automatic decline. And he wasn't even in control. It was the Obamas was still running the show. So he was a puppet. But the moral of the story is when Trump got removed, everything went downhill. You all know about it. You complained about the gas prices for as long as you complained about it. You complained about the high prices you pay at the supermarket, how much you pay for your clothes. You've complained about it, so you know what I'm talking about. So this is not new, what I'm saying. But, you know, and obviously there's been a lot of back and forth. Nobody wants Trump in office because of his smart mouth. He's offended your communities. So you don't feel that he's suitable for to lead your country because he hurt your feelings. That's just the God honest truth. You could throw things on there like he, I don't know, dealt with sex trafficking, whatever. And I think it's so hypocritical to really throw that on this man, knowing that we've been supporting monsters for the longest. Your favorite musicians are monsters. Your favorite tech billionaires are monsters. Your favorite clothing brand people, they're monsters. They're all monsters. They're all involved in sex trafficking. Dirty politicians have been involved in sex trafficking. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing but the hand of the devil to all of a sudden call this man out for quote unquote sex trafficking charges. Now, I obviously haven't done any digging into that because I don't know what's true or what's not. I'm not going to speak on that because I don't know. But you can't necessarily call somebody a monster and you've been supporting monsters for forever. Stars like R. Kelly, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Bill Gates. We've been supporting monsters all along. Why is this guy so different? What's wrong with him? You know what I'm saying? So, and I know the biggest factor, especially for black people, is that this is a race thing. You're a black person. How could you choose this person? I mean, this is not the 1960s. I can't believe we're still fighting over race. I can't believe we're still dealing with the insecurity of white versus black. I mean, seriously, I find it so ridiculous that we're still dealing with this white versus black thing. This is crazy, really. But so back to what happened. So she obviously was appalled at what I said, because I said that I'm a Trump supporter. I voted already. I voted early. I submitted the ballot already. It's done. I can't go back and change my vote. My vote is counted. It's part of the other votes of the other red states and everybody else that's voted for this man. My vote is counted. You know what I'm saying? So like, I posted on my story and I kept it private for a while because I don't like to post everything, because I live my life very privately. I used to post everything, but part of growing up, everything is just not social media's business. So I kept it private for a while. But I just decided to post it because I wanted to post it. And she told me, she was like, you're blocked because that's not even funny. How could you as a black man support Trump and want Trump in office? She went off. So my response was, go ahead and block me. Here's the thing. And the reason why I'm fighting so hard to post as much as I post, I've been betrayed by people before. I've been ostracized before. Everything that I've had to forgive has happened to me already. So it's not new that people say that they don't want to deal with me. You know what I'm saying? And it's not saying that I'm like a recluse or I don't have friends. But like, true friends, no. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's not new to me that people say, I just don't rock with you. I've never really been liked. Let's just say that. I've never really been liked. I've always been disliked. Popular, but disliked. And I know spiritually why now. I never understood it. You know what I'm saying? But like, I know why now. But I told her just straight up, I said, go ahead and block me. Go ahead and block me. It's no skin off my back. I said, it's no way that you could support a woman that is not prepared. Because her excuse was saying that he was old, quote unquote, feeble to be running the United States. But Joe Biden was old and y'all thought he was more suitable. And also, Kamala Harris probably is younger than him. You hear the way this woman talks, her promises, her campaign speeches are not promising. If you hear this woman talk, I understand it's a spirit that blinds your discernment. But if you hear this woman talk and you feel securely that she's a good president, Houston, we have a problem. Because there's no way you could listen to what she's talking about and you think that she knows what she's doing. Absolutely not. You can't possibly have that going on. Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? So like, I was basically saying, I said, how is this man bad because he wants to end things like abortion, the murder of innocent children? You know what I'm saying? How is he wrong because he wants to stop illegal immigrants from coming into United States, robbing Americans of resources as far as education? How is he a bad president because he wants to, I don't know, pull transgenders out of actually fighting with women in the ring because they're still technically biologically male, even though they get mutilated surgically to fit that fake profile? How is he wrong? Because he's trying to bring some common sense. How is he wrong? Better yet, how is he wrong for trying to, I don't know, ban an app? You all know the app TikTok. I have it because there are Chinese foreigners spying on Americans through apps, through America. He's trying to protect us as the people, but he's the bad guy. I don't get that. Meanwhile, this woman is a witch. She's evil. She invited your famous witch on there, Beyonce. She invited her on the stage. She only said about, a couple of sentences? She pulled out the quote-unquote big guns because she know that people are still very fond of Queen Bee. Like literally, if she gets voted, if she was to quote-unquote get voted into office, this nation would suffer greatly, tremendously. It would be so bad. So bad. You know what I'm saying? This video is not really about that, but I'm just throwing that out there. So I basically defended my stance. I said, I'm voting for Trump. I said, he's more reasonable than she is. She's dangerous. He's not. She equals destruction. He doesn't. He's reasonable. She's not. That's my argument. That was my argument with her. And she kept trying to use the race thing, the typical black inferiority. He's racist, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, it's cliche at this point. It's so lack of thought. Because this is all about feelings. This is about how you feel. This is so stupid. You know what I'm saying? So like, and I said I had a few things to say to her. And she was like, listen, she basically told me, she said, you spoke your piece. I spoke my piece. And she said, God bless. And she cut me off. She blocked me. Okay. Another friend of mine. They're not really friends, but they are people that I talked to once upon a time. She was a co-worker. She worked at she worked at a cosmetic stand. She was a MAC specialist, and she left our store. And, I should have known because her behavior was a little shifty towards me and everything like that. God gives me discernment at certain times, but sometimes I can be a little slow to catching up. You know what I'm saying? You don't catch everything. But like, she's obviously viewed my story with my standpoint. And I found out that she blocked me too. And the thing is, she, got engaged, she got married, and I shot her out. I knew something was off. She was ignoring me. She was ignoring me. And basically, like, she just blocked me. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little offended. I was. I am usually unoffendable. I don't get offended by things like that, but I was offended. Mostly because me and her never had a problem. You know what I'm saying? So she just blocked me. But I refused to let that sit. So I forgave her aggressively. Like, I just kept saying under my breath, I forgive her, I forgive her, I forgive her, I forgive her. I commanded her to come out of my mind, my GI tract. I commanded her to come out. You know what I'm saying? I was fine. You know what I'm saying? So, as much as it hurts, this political war is very aggressive. I mean, it's making people part ways. This is a very aggressive political war. And the reason why this is so aggressive is because it's not just a physical thing, it's a spiritual thing. We're dealing with God versus the world right now. We're dealing with the will of God versus witches, warlocks. It's God's will versus Satan right now, the lowercase god of this world. You know what I'm saying? So that's why this political war is so bloody, almost like people are parting ways. People are just not cutting each other off, even arguing with each other viciously, because this is not just a light thing. This is a serious thing. You know what I mean? Like I said, we're dealing with the will of God versus the will of Satan. So people are cutting each other off. People are losing friends, family. It's all types of things that's being lost. But I have to stand up for what's right. I'm a child of God. If I suppress what's right to get people to like me, to get people to stay around, I have to be held accountable for that. God will hold you accountable for every action, including for the things that you do not speak up for. Voting this woman in office is literally being a witness to injustice. So I can't be a witness to injustice because I'm afraid of losing people that probably weren't good for my life anyway, contaminated into lifestyles like saging, crystals, homosexuality, things like that. I can't hold back what's right for the sake of losing popularity. We have enough dummies in political seats and in big time shows because they're afraid to tell the truth, because they're afraid of not being popular. That can't continue, because so many people are getting hurt behind this because people are afraid of being honest and telling the truth, and we can't afford any more of that. So I choose God over a person, because you can't get me into heaven. God can. So what are you willing to sacrifice for standing up for what's right? Because this is not a small thing. This is a big commitment. You're talking about defending God's will. People are going to be angry with you. People are going to slander your name. People are going to say things about you. People are going to cut you off. You probably got an awesome girlfriend, boyfriend. They give you all they emotionally nurture you. They check off all the boxes. He giving you flowers, romancing you. His love language is probably sweet to you. She's probably so beautiful to you. She probably is healing certain quote unquote wounds that you had. Things like that. They just got all the bells and whistles. Heck, even the sex is great. Y'all do it. Y'all probably make a movie. You probably going to work like, man, it was like a movie last night. I'm saying it's probably all of that. But because you chose to do the right thing, oh, I can't do this anymore. You're a great guy. You're a great girl. But your viewpoints just don't match. This is not going to work. Are you willing to lose out on something like that? Good friendship. Probably have good memories. Y'all probably stayed up to ran the streets till 5 a.m. together. Probably skipped classes together. Any memory that you guys shared that brought you to like this. You probably cried together. You probably going through something at home. That person probably going through something at home. Just let it out on your friend's shoulder. That was probably a night of bonding for you, of closeness for you. But because you chose to honor God, oh, I gotta let you go. And this stuff is painful. It's not without pain. The first girl didn't really hurt as much because we didn't really deal with each other. But the second girl did hurt a little bit because I liked her a lot. Your heart's going to get ripped out of your chest a few times when you choose God. That's just one of the sacrifices. And Catherine Coleman actually said something like that. Because we see these ministers in their priestly gowns. They look good. They being escorted from limo, in a limo, from stadium to stadium. They're preaching the awesome message of Jesus Christ. But what kind of sacrifices do they have to make to stay loyal to God? Catherine Coleman said, it's not one special gift that God hasn't given me that hasn't come with a price. What price are you willing to pay? That means losing things that are dearest to your heart. Are you willing to lose friends? Are you willing to lose people around you? Are you willing to lose things? Because let me tell you something. People cutting you off, it's actually, whether people cut you off, anything like that, is not necessarily because you're a bad person, because you're not a bad person. It doesn't really have anything to do with you. It's the fact that you've actually been entertaining the wrong people, the wrong thing for the longest. And when you gave your life to God, that beast has to vomit you up now because Satan has now become allergic to you. So that can mean contaminated people. You gave your life to the Holy Spirit. That person that's openly involved with sin, they're allergic to you now. They got to get rid of you. That's just what happens. And if you have a big heart, that's going to hurt a little bit. Because if you a people person, that's going to hurt. But you got to be willing to make sacrifices if you want to do the right thing, if you want to tell the truth. You got to be willing to. It's no ands, ifs, or buts. It's nothing we can do about that. Division amongst humans will cease when God comes back. And he creates a new world when Lucifer is permanently thrown into the lake of fire. And along with the wicked men, the wicked women. And God creates a new heaven, a new earth, new law, new everything. Everything is brand new. And there will be no more such things as your view, my view. This way, that way, the right way, the wrong way. These things will cease to exist when God comes back and he creates everything new. But for right now, that time has not yet approached. We're dealing with a spiritual war right now. You know what I'm saying? I know it's because as Christians, we take things so personally. I can't believe she did that. I can't believe he did that. It's not really about you. It's God versus the enemy's will right now. And you got to choose what side you're on. You can't be weak. And I'm not saying you're going to be necessarily perfect. God didn't use people that was perfect. Eventually, he'll carve out certain rough edges from you when the time comes, when the time occurs. But for the most part, you can't be. You got to be strong in this fight. You got to be tough. You got to be tough. You got to choose God's will. So are you willing to sacrifice and give up what you're willing to give up to follow God's will? Are you willing to give up whatever? Are you willing to lose people around you just to stand up for what's right? What are you willing to do? And you need to think long and hard about this too, because this contract comes with terms and conditions. See, Lucifer, he don't give you a contract with terms and conditions. He just gives you the good stuff and you go along with it. And then the longer you serve him, you find out later on you got played. But when God tells you, when he wants to recruit you, and I don't mean it like a job type thing, because this is not a business type thing. This is a relationship. When you're fighting for God, this is because you love him and you know what's right. But he gives you the terms and conditions first. Yes, you want to be on my side, but you might lose this and that. Are you willing to make the sacrifice? Which is more important? Which is more important? If you are somebody that's easily offended and, you know, it hurts you when people betray you, you got to pray that God makes you unoffendable. You got to pray for him to kill your flesh. That's number one. I said I had a prayer, but it's more like tips. You got to pray for God to make you unoffendable. You need to ask God to make you unoffendable, meaning that you are not offended when these people turn their backs on you. You also got to forgive quickly, because if you hold offense towards people cutting you off, which I said, it's not about you, it's a spiritual war. So if you're holding offense to people leaving you, you need to forgive them aggressively. Because as the time goes on and you continue to stand up for what's right, you're going to be betrayed. You're going to be betrayed. People are going to leave you. It's not saying you won't have people by your side. God is not calling you to be a lonely prophet, apostle. He's not calling you to be lonely. The people that stick around will be the people that he sent for you. You'll know that they're sent from God when they stick around for you. You know what I'm saying? But if you're the type of person that gets hurt when people betray you, that weren't sent from God, you need to forgive quickly. You need to ask God for the gift of grace. You need to ask God for the gift of forgiving. You need to ask him to help you to forgive easily. You need to ask him to help you, you know, I'm trying not to sound repetitive and everything like that. You got to ask him for the gift of forgiveness. You also need to ask him to allow you, to help you be stronger. That this doesn't break you, but it makes you stronger. I was going to say make you, but I don't. You need to ask God that he helps the situation to build you and not tear you down. You need to ask him to help you with something like that. Yeah. You need to ask him to help you with something like that. But before you even consider taking these tips that I'm saying, you need to really take into consideration and make a decision. What stance are you taking? Are you willing to stand up for what's right for God? Because believe it or not, I got something that's also going to blow your lid off. This is not actually about Donald. This is not even about Donald Trump. This is not about him. This is more about God versus the enemy right now. It's more about him. It's more about God. So you need to decide, is God more important or are people more important? That's a decision that you have to make. You know what I'm saying? This video is already 24 minutes. But you got to choose what's right. You got to know what you're talking about when you talk about it. You got to know what decision you want to make. You got to know what you want to do. And I'm hoping that you choose the right side. Because like I said, we got to stand up for what's right. We don't have time for cowering down. We don't have time for stuff like that. We got to stand up for what's right. So I'll leave you with that. This video is long enough and people are coming outside. So yeah, like this video if you like this video. If you are offended and this video rubbed you the wrong way, you're obviously not going to like it. You can just slide. It's all right. You're not hurting me. Even if you didn't like it, you gave me a view anyway. But if you like this video, like it, subscribe. This channel is versatile. Right now, I just been kind of posting ministry and kind of, like I said, political stances. But as time goes on, this channel will be for entertainment purposes. I'm making skits and things like that. But subscribe, get more content. I'll do my best to post more often. And I will see you guys later. Nikki out.